Welcome to Chalk Talk, a weekly preview of West Tennessee football featuring the JSUN sports team on JacksonSun.com.
Hi everybody, welcome to week 6 of Chalk Talk here at JacksonSun.com, the high school edition. My name is Craig Thomas alongside the high school sports columnist Brandon Shields. Going to talk about a handful of games involving some of the city teams going forward here in week 6. We're going to start with one right here on the south side of the city at Dyersburg at Southside. Hawks 5-0, kind of the talk of the area, it seems like, especially for the Southside folks, the alumni and everybody. What's the most interesting part of this game, do you think?
Most interesting part about this game is that Southside's finally playing somebody. Southside's coming into this game undefeated, 5-0. Congratulations, you beat Novi County and Fayetteware and Bolivar and McNary, and you came back to beat JCM. Now it's time to actually beat somebody that will gain respect outside of your own locker room and outside of your own home stands. That's not to say that it's not an accomplishment to be 5-0 at this point, but we've heard from a few Southside people that we apparently don't give them enough respect because they're 5-0 record. Be 6-0 and you'll get it. So, but Dyersburg's going to be tough. I saw them last week against Liberty, and they're probably the biggest team that Southside's played so far. I think that's pretty accurate. But that's going to be nothing different because Southside typically is going to be the smaller team, no matter who they play. More times than not, they're going to be the smaller team. They played a fast team last week. We're down 20-0 for about 3.5 quarters and came back and won 21-20. They played Bolivar, who's got speed. So it's not like speed something they can't deal with either. But Dyersburg is also really good at executing its game plan. So if Southside can win this game, it's definitely some respect for them.
Yeah, it'd be a great "I told you so" moment from them for sure.
And I got no problem being told so.
Right, absolutely. Another game involving a city team, Northside, going on the road to Dyer County. Indians need a bounce back, and frankly, Chalk Talks do too. How do you see this game playing out?
Well, we talked. If you saw the midweek crunch video that you and I and Michael Odom do, I kind of talked about Northside being on upset alert for this game. Looking at the numbers, Northside's coming in 3-2, who are their 2 losses, their 2 best defensive teams they played. Dyer County may not be as good as Liberty or Lexington defensively, but they're not far off. And also, I would dare to say Dyer County has played a tougher schedule overall than what Lexington and Liberty, well, maybe not Liberty, but what Lexington has played. Crockett County and Hardin County and Haywood, keeping those teams not low enough, obviously, because they're not beating those teams, but they're keeping it competitive. And I think that Dyersburg or Dyer County's defense is good enough to keep them competitive with Northside too, particularly a young Northside team. So there's going to be a little bit of question of how are they going to react if Dyer County's defense plays as good as it can early on. Are they going to be able to kind of maintain their composure and keep playing? And if they can't, they're in trouble.
For purposes of this video, we're kind of focusing on some city teams today, but there are some good region games. Crockett County's playing Haywood, Chester County's playing Lexington, Mackenzie's playing Huntingdon, and for more information on those, obviously check the paper throughout the week.
Yeah.
And the midweek crunch we talked about, really easy to find here on JacksonSun.com. Just go to the sports tab. We'll have that video up, really easy to see throughout the week. And so that's definitely something to check out. You can look at some of the top teams, players, some of the topics we discussed over at Southside, and appreciate those kids helping us out, by the way. Moving on, as far as the Jackson teams go, USJ, we talked a little about that earlier this week, Brandon, with them playing ECS, trying to come back after that loss, close loss at Battleground Academy last week. What do the Bruins need to do to take care of ECS?
Just keep doing what they're doing. Last week, and when I say that, I mean just keep playing good defense. One thing, they were 4-0 and then they lost last week, but they haven't given up many points in any game. I think the 21 they gave up to BGA may be the most they've given up. They shut out 2 opponents, gave up 3 against Jackson Christian, 21 to TCA and BGA. Difference is they scored 41 against TCA. But it wasn't like BGA just kind of pounded them. If you look at those, all 3 touchdowns, one was a pick 6, another one was a long run, I think, and their first touchdown came less than 2 minutes into the game, so you know that was either set up by a big play or a long kickoff return. So BGA won with big plays. If they can eliminate that against ECS and ECS with its 1-4 record, that's more indicative of the tough schedule that they played up to this point, not necessarily if they're not a good team. Mickey Marley, USJ's head coach, is quick to warn about that when comparing records. You know, there's no reason to think that ECS or that USJ can't keep ECS corralled defensively. ECS is a younger team this year too, so that experience with seniors like Easton Underwood, Mitchell Bodford in the backfield, and a lot of seniors in the linebacking core on defense should give them that experience advantage and make it pay.
All right, Jackson Christian will have a home game too. They take on the Lions from Scotts Hill. You know, an important game for both teams. A couple teams that had done a couple good things, had some tougher moments. What do you think happens on Friday night?
Well, I'm going to watch this game to one, get an idea about Jackson Christian, just kind of see about Clay Lewis and the rest of the guys I got on that team. Also to see Scotts Hill's defense. The quarterback, Junior Kimmel, he's I think number 2 in our passing leaders going into the week behind Southside's Cade Willingham. Their receivers are in the top 15, but they're not close to the top because there's good
balance.
Yeah, good balance. Thank you. That's a good word. Good balance among them. So they're instead of one being like number 1 and then another one being number 14 or something like that, they're all like 10, 11, 12, something like that. So so Kimmel's spreading the ball around. Then you got guys like Kanan Mainers and Drake Thompson on defense. He's among our tackling leaders. In fact, he is the tackling leader, and it's not even close. So there's some good athletes on that team, and Michael Strauss really turned that program around, because when was the last time we were able to talk about, I think one year, a few years ago, they had a tackling leader in Seth Jowers, but other than that, there was nobody anywhere near leading any offensive stats, so maybe punting or return yards because they were giving up so many touchdowns. But Scotts Hill is a team to be reckoned with, and Jackson Christian needs to be reckoned for.
A couple of the games we wanted to just touch on briefly. I guess Liberty at JCM, that'll be a Lane Field.
Yeah, is it at Lane Field or is it at Liberty?
I believe it's at Lane.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong week. Yeah, it's at Lane. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's JCM surprised a lot of people by nearly giving Southside their first loss last week. I don't know if that's going to happen this week against Liberty. It could if Liberty is looking past them to their next opponent. But I don't know. I can't see it happening. This one could be bad again.
Yeah, Trinity at Riverside.
Could be a good game. Last week they put Andrew Goldsmith back at the quarterback spot, and it worked out well for them. They got their first win. Talking about TCA, Riverside is they've handled some adversity well with Drake Smith, their quarterback, going down to injury. He's been out for 2 or 3 games now, and they're competing. I mean, they've already won more games than I thought they would at 3-2. So this could be a really interesting matchup to watch and keep track of as the night progresses Friday night. Okay, well, if you're a high school football diehard, you kind of know how it works by now, but we have feature stories and game previews throughout the week. You definitely want to check out Friday mornings. Jackson Sun will have the Blitz page where you have preview capsules of every game involving a team in the Jackson Sun's coverage area. Even if they're playing a team that's not in our coverage area, we'll still have a little synopsis of what to expect. We have the stats leaders, as you mentioned, with the Scotts Hill kids. There's been lots of schools calling in stats lately. It seems like it's really almost everybody. Yeah. So you're seeing kind of who the best passers, rushers, receivers, tacklers, etc. Are in our area. Then Friday night, JacksonSun.com, game recaps from all over the place. Have photo galleries, photos, video. You know, it's just really, you name it. We have a ton of stuff. If you go on JacksonSun.com about 11:30 at night or 11 o'clock at night. If you're just looking for something to read, there's going to be plenty to read.
There's all kinds of stuff, and then obviously Saturday morning in print and online. Just lots of stuff to check out, kind of recapping week 6, and so we're making our way through the high school football season. So we appreciate you guys, following us and keeping track of all the coverage and everything. We hope you enjoyed the coverage of your teams, and hope you have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
See ya.